Hey everybody, my name is Chris. I'm with the North Idaho Eastern Washington Battletech Group on Facebook, and I've been playing Battletech myself here for around 35 some odd years. And I want to do a review of the Alpha Strike box set. So basically for the review here, I'm just going to go over some of the stuff here. I have nothing negative really to say about it, except I think that the pilot cards here, which we'll go over in a second, as well as the battlefield support cards, tend, in my opinion, make things a little bit more complicated than what it should be for Alpha Strike. Alpha Strike was designed to be faster paced and quick and easy to play, especially also using larger forces. I want to also say Alpha Strike evolved from the old Battle Force, which were much smaller units than what we have for the standard 6mm or 1/285th scale. So, but outside of that, I think this is probably going to be Alpha Strike, again, in my opinion, really is the best way to get people involved with the game if they're coming over from, if one, they never played any sort of tabletop game before, or two, if they're coming over from either Warhammer 40K or Star Wars Legion. So what do you all get in the box here? So most people probably already know it because they already have it. So you're getting 14 folded paper buildings here, of various sizes. You're getting 10 punch-out trees. You also get objective markers, and some other ground counters. So you also get the pair of dice, which they always tell you use multicolor, more than just 2 dice here. So, because in the game you're going to want one for your movement as well as for rolling. So, but if you've been gaming as long as I have, you have you do have a nice collection of D6s around, anyways. You get the primer, of course, here, which is, if someone's interested in the game, let them take a look at that so it can explain to them about the factions, the clans, give them a brief history of the game as well. So, and then you got a quick start rulebook here, which, as you pretty much explains everything in detail here. But going back into this here, you get these. Let's open up the battlefield support deck first. So now the support decks, they introduced some of these in the Clan Invasion Kickstarter, which I actually do have. So, but I'm just not sure on how this is going to support the game without making it sound, for Alpha Strike, without making it sound a little more complicated, closer to the classic Battletech or Total Warfare rules. So because you got aerospace stuff here, which and you got artillery, You got heavy bombing. You got thumper support, which is an artillery piece. And the rules are explained in the quick start, but like I said, I think these tends to have a tendency to make the game, when you're wanting to bring someone into it, you're wanting to make it easy, not to where it's kind of like maybe overstimulating or confusing to the new person learning how to play the game. Next up, is the pilot cards, which they've been giving out since A Game of Armored Combat has been the new box set. And so what you're getting here is different pilots from different factions and stuff like that. So like Afonso Nascimento here, but on the back, you're getting Anthony Ryan. Now, Anthony Ryan is mentioned in, matter of fact, most of these players here that I'm going to probably point out here in the deck are also written in The Chaos Theory by Brian Young, which is a very good little novella. First time reading his stuff, it wasn't that bad. I actually would like to read more of his regular novels here for Battletech. But let's go back to Afonso Nascimento. His rank is Cornet. He's from the Taurian Concordat. Unit is the Pleiades Hussars, and he battles in a Locust. His special pilot abilities cost 2, and he's a maneuvering ace. On the card, you get a little description about them here. But on the back, you have another pilot by the name of Anthony Ryan, like I mentioned. He's a mech warrior. He is part of he's a mercenary from the Northwind Highlanders. And you get a nice little background about him. He has special pilot abilities, which will also cost 2, but he's a multitasker. So, and then it explains about what that does down here. It also gives him a little bit of a quote as to what he's probably have said. So there's 3, 8, 9, 11, 12. You get 13 pilot cards, which I think is what there has been mostly in all the box sets. I could be wrong on that count here. I actually never counted them. For instance, the clans here on the Nova or the Blackhawk, you got a Callista, and she's a star captain from Clan Wolf, Alpha Galaxy. She's got a piloting cost of 3, or I should say special ability cost of 3, and her is called Natural Grace. So that's kind of interesting about that. And then on the opposite side, you talk about a mech warrior named Gavin from Clan Jade Falcon, part of the Golden Talons, who pilots the Blackhawk again. He's also mentioned, Gavin is, in the Chaos Theory. So now, and he's a hot dog, which is kind of that's not a bad skill to have, because you can actually with that one there, I'll tell you, hot dogs allow you to run a little bit hot, and the pilot himself is not taking any sort of penalties for it. Or the mechas, I should say. So let me just get these put away here. So basically on the cards themselves, regarding the cards, is that one side's going to feature a unit with different all the mechs in here, all 13 mechs that are listed in the card on the pilot cards is what you get in here. However, then you're going to get, I want to say, then 26 different pilots we're going to be talking about. Of those 13, of the other 13, they're either going to be from the Golden Talons, or they're going to be from the Northwind Highlanders. So you got the Golden Hussars versus the Northwind Highlanders, basically in here. So of the 13 mechs, you're getting a new Pouncer, brand new Pouncer, I should say. This was not released in the regular Clan Invasion bot Kickstarter. You are getting also a new... Whoops, that's not the Wraith, sorry. You're getting the Wraith as well, which is an Aerosphere 50 or 55 ton mech. And you're getting a couple of redesigns. You're getting a new Archer, which I think this is the 4th one out. This one could also be used as a 2K, which is the House Karita variant, which uses the 2 large lasers here. You got a new Wasp. You also get a Locust 1E. So the Locust 1E is a nasty little bugger of a Inner Sphere mech with no armor. However, it's strictly all energy, so you don't have to worry about ammunition and stuff like that. And here, once again, I'm also talking mainly in total warfare comparison, but the clans in this, the clans in this, of course, are going to be, they're going to actually be better than what the Inner Spheres are. So you get a star of clan mechs and 2 lances of Inner Sphere. So now these you can basically use, I want to say, for any timeline. Well, no, you can't use them for any timeline. Sorry about that. That's my fault there. These are based, depending upon the card here, I'm going to say will tell you where you can use it at. For instance, the 30W goes from the Clan Invasion, Jihad, Star League Defense Force. However, if you flip it, you got the 5A for the Wasp, and it was only, I want to say, Republic of the Sphere and Star League Defense Force. Sorry, even with my glasses on, I cannot read really what that one is. Oh well. But so for these here again, the T for the clans, you're getting like the Masakari C variant, or you flip it and you got the, of course I flipped it wrong, the T. Now the T's here are being talked about recently in all the Ilklin source books coming out, which I'm really behind on. So now there is one in here, the Mad Cat or Timberwolf T, along with the Prime variant that's on the other side. However, I think the T was released in the was actually talked about in the Wolf Dragoons Lance Pack or Force Pack, which you can get over at Barnes & Nobles or online at Callus Game Labs. Now the T's are also basically, the T variants for the clan mechs are actually all in the Ilklin era, which is where the Chaos Theory takes place, and I think that's actually great to have that, because these mechs here can be used for that in the Ilklin era, which I think this is also where I think this is set to be taking place in. The first one of the box sets to actually do so. And going over, let me go back over here, going back to the Masakari C or the Masakari T. Here, along with the Timberwolf or Mad Cat, which basically looks the same anyways because of the Prime. However, the weapons features are still the same. However, the T variant in Alpha Strike is 63 points. The Masakari T is 50 points. However, the Mad Cat here does 774, whereas the Masakari or Warhawk does 554. So, and one of the other things too, in regarding to these, is since you got the, since I mentioned it earlier, you got the five mechs for the clans, which are going to be the which are listed in the pilot cards. You got 5 of them from the Golden Talons or Clan J Falcons, or as some of us like to say, Emerald Turkeys, versus the Northwind Highlanders. And I think it's the Kearney Regiment from the Northwind Highlanders. It's actually not saying exactly where that. Let's see here. It looks, the Atlas should have it. Nope, it's not saying which part of the regiment that the Northwind Highlanders are in. So, but there's also a painting thing you can do here if you want to get your minis painted up. You got the 2 factions right there. You got the Clan J Falcon, Golden Talons, plus the Northwind Highlanders. So now, generally, I think that's about it. Overall, this is a really nice box set. Again, the only drawback, I think, if you're going to introduce someone to the game, do not use the pilot cards or the battlefield support deck at this time. Let them get used to it. Let them actually play it a couple times before trying to bring it in using something a little bit more advanced. You got the quick start rules in the box to help you with that. If you want to start playing with a little more complication, there is the Alpha Strike Commanders Edition book that's available on the Callus website, Catalyst Game Lab's website, or you can pick up a hard copy through either your local gaming shop or through either Ares Games and Miniatures or Fortress Miniatures and Games. Derek and Robert can help you out with that. If you want other mechs, the two stores I previously mentioned are where you can get stuff at. Matter of fact, you can also get, I know there's, if you want to involve more terrain, there's also 3D printed terrain you can get if you know how to do that. If you have a 3D printer, great. That's probably going to be one of the best ways to get the terrain. Or you can just make some yourself out using cardboard and stuff like that. Or if you just want to purchase the terrain, I recommend probably Thunderhead Studios, who make some really great hex and non-hex terrain. Also, X Marks the spot. X Marks. He's still around. He does has some really nice terrains and buildings and other stuff that you can get. I've seen Death from Above Wargaming talking about Terrainify for which is beautiful stuff, and you can get stuff from there. So I'm hoping that this is going to. I want to say thank you to Battletech. I mean, and for those of you who are putting up with this, watching me and fumble through all this is my first time doing this. Yes, I use that a lot, but I love the game personally. Again, I cannot reiterate enough that the Office Right box set is when you want to introduce someone, this is probably going to be the best thing for it. Best way to introduce is going to be the Office Right box set. Personal opinion, do not use the battlefield support or the pilot cards at the time when you're bringing someone into playing it. And then later on, you can always bring in the, let them see about trying the Total Warfare. So outside of that, again, thank you for watching, and you guys have a great rest of your day, and enjoy your new year.